Greetings, it's Lucius Free Spirit again, and my musical odyssey continues. In between creating compositions, I people watch on the San Miguel de Allende Plaza. Gabriela lets herself in at 7 a.m. and fixes me a nutritious breakfast before I head off. I like to look at people as long as I don't have to talk to them, and this place is good for that. I got an email from a guy, an event producer named Chad Constant. He had an idea he was sharing with local noted musicians. He told me a little about what he was planning and asked for a meeting at the hotel he was staying in.
Once there was a man who spent most of his life in Mexico, who had a vision and the self-assurance to go his own way, no matter what anybody thought of him. He heard music in his head that was unplayable by human beings. What could he do? In those days before computers, what could be more flexible than a player piano with holes punched in paper? And this superhuman music, with a real player piano, is what we are bringing to the intensely artistic setting of San Miguel de Allende. You will hear that Nancaro created tomorrow's music yesterday. Plus you will hear one of the world's great DJs emulating his vision, and members of the vibrant local community performing their own compositions. All we ask is that you consider making a generously tax-deductible donation to bring this worthy project to fruition.
Well, I was skeptical at first, but we went for a walk in town, and he convinced me that expat money would go for it, and I should be an important presence. Think of the exposure, he said, what you will mean to the community. Of course, he was right. And then came the day. I had a good spot with a piano carried in by local muscle. Don't know where the dog jumped in from. There was funny stuff, too, like this washing machine that somehow expressed some of the nervous uncertainty of Nancaro's music. And at the end of the day came the piece de resistance, when the so-called official player piano unleashed a salvo to tumultuous applause. The next morning I was back in my spot on the plaza. Chad had told me that he had raised almost enough money to bring an even bigger production down to San Miguel de Allende. When he described it to me, I could almost see it in my mind's eye, and hear it too. And I realized something important. I belong here. I fought like hell to get here, and I'm not going to get booted back to square zero. I'll stand my ground here in San Miguel de Allende to make my mark with Gabriela by my side. I will create my masterpiece.